Hi you guys, Miss Longest here. Um, Basically, I just realized that these couple pages in your notebook might be a little confusing, and I didn't necessarily give tons of directions. So I just wanted to show you guys basically like some life hacks to make this part of the assignment a little bit easier. So to explain a little bit more, the goal of this is basically a timeline. And when I refer to the line, you'll see in the documentary, Brian Stevenson talks about how there is a line that runs through American history that is kind of this connected story of racial inequality. And you can't really have any one of these things without the other. And they all lead to racial inequality today. So I want to establish this line. So this is your timeline. So if you look up here, we have, or I marked earliest, and this is latest. Now consider all of these pages together. So this earliest to latest line continues through all three pages. So your first item of part 1 is going to be your earliest event, and the last item of part 3 is going to be your latest event. So if you like lined these pieces of paper up, like how you can see them over here, it should be one long continuous line. So one way I recommend doing this, I actually made you guys another document that I'm going to share in the Canvas announcement when I post this video. But this is all of the terms, just the terms. So what I'd recommend doing, if you're unfamiliar with these terms, just give them a Google search, use your textbook, whatever you want to use, find out when it happened and just what it is. Once you've done that, you'll be able to order them and move them around. Some of these things are more broad. I just want you guys to get a general idea of when they're happening. So, for example, I'm trying to think of a good one. So like Jim Crow laws are kind of a more broad term. As long as you put them in the right area of other events that are happening in that time, that's really what I'm looking for. Do you understand the way these things interact with each other? But if you put the slave trade in America happens after the Brown versus Board of Education, that's going to be wrong, because that doesn't show understanding of when those things actually happen. So once you've given like a general, when is this thing going on and what it is, you should be able to come back here and say, I mean, I'm going to give you an answer, but you guys should be able to figure this one out. Let's say I figure out genocide of Native Americans happened first. Oh, we're in part 3. See, I already messed up. All right, let's go part 1. Okay, we're in part 1 now. So let's say I decide genocide of Native Americans first. Here's another thing I'd recommend is squooshing your text boxes like so. I didn't do it because I didn't know how you guys wanted to put them in here, but I think this will make this easier for you. So I would put your image in. This is the picture. And then put your title in. And then I'd come over here and I would say whatever my explanation is. Does that make sense? So you might have to reorder some things, you might have to move them around, but as long as you have, okay, now this is where we go into wrong territory, so don't put Dred Scott versus Sanford here and say, but you put it there. So as long as you have a picture, a title, and some type of brief description of what it is, that's what I'm looking for, and I'm looking for a general timeline of how these things progress. So I hope that helped you guys out. When it comes to the pictures and figuring out which picture goes to which, when you're doing a search of what these things are and when they happen, you should be able to figure out what the pictures are. And then in your own version of the notebook, you're welcome to do whatever you want to keep it organized. So as you can see, when you go to the next slide, all of the pictures are back. So if you want to, you say, okay, I already did genocide of Native Americans on this page, I'm going to delete this image on that page. You're welcome to do that. Whatever, if you want to copy them, that might be a good way to do it. Again, you're welcome to make it work whatever way. These are just my suggestions of make room for your picture and your title, figure it out over here first, But these are just suggestions. All right, so I hope that was helpful. If you guys have any other questions or things are confusing, let me know, especially this week since the documentary and this work is a lot longer. It's hard for me to know what you guys are struggling with until we get to the end of it. So feel free to just let me know how you're doing or what's confusing or what's been difficult. All right, talk to you guys soon.